Torii Hunter was making his major league debut.
The day I got there, I'm like, oh my God.
Torii Hunter will hit for Orlando Merced.
You're talking about 55,000 people, and I'm on deck.
Hunter was just recalled today from Double-A ball.
I got up to the plate, and they all screaming, "Get off the field, rookie!"
He would be the potential tying run.
Deep down, I was very nervous. I wanted something big to happen. You just feel like, wow, this is it. This is what I always dreamed of.
Torii got all of that one. Hunter delivers. Torii Hunter does it again. He made the catch.
Oh my goodness, Torii Hunter.
My hometown, Pine Bluff, Arkansas. It's a tough town, you know. It's not beautiful. It wasn't so much positive coming out of Pine Bluff, Arkansas. That city and the people that was in it, they wanted to see me do some great things. When I was 10 years old, I would walk home from school and go to my grandparents' house. My granddad was a crazy baseball fan. He played his whole life, and he was one of the best out here. I think his thing was to be in the Negro Leagues and play there. When I came home from school, Granddad would make me sit down and watch the Cubs.
And Dawson will get a chance to...
Couldn't talk, I couldn't laugh, I couldn't jump. I had to sit and watch this game with him. When the baseball games were on, I was always swinging. Sometimes the bat would fly out of my hand and then it'd be stuck in the wall. And I get a whooping for it, but they paint over it and do what you have to do. Then I go in another room and I would swing and boom, hit my brother. And I never knew that my granddad was actually trying to impart a craft in me. And I fell in love with baseball then. Coming up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, all the guys in the neighborhood would get together and we would go to a local school or a park and we would play pickup baseball. We started talking trash and jarring a little bit. We were very competitive. That's the way we did it back then. And, you know, in the mid-'80s, we walked around miles to go play different guys in different neighborhoods and let them know our neighborhood was better than yours. And we were. We had this guy named Brian Scarver who had the best curveball, supposedly, in our neighborhood. And he struck out everybody. Brian Scarver's on the mound when I got to the plate, and he threw a fastball up in the air and almost hit me. You know, he was a tough pitcher. And he threw his great curveball, and I took it. And guys are running after it. I'm just running around the bases, got an inside the park home run, and everybody was like, "Dude, you hit Brian Scarver." So that's something that I'll never forget. You know, my parents worked hard for us. You know, they made a lot of sacrifices. My mom, for a long time, she was a substitute teacher. She worked 30 miles away. She would leave early in the morning, make breakfast. Our backpacks was here with little sticky notes everywhere, everything that we needed to go to school. You know, I didn't know until I became a parent myself how hard and what sacrifices parents make for their children. She went through a lot and had to do a lot for us. It wasn't always good times. I remember my mom always telling us, if we go to the store, don't you say nothing, you know, because we couldn't ask for anything, we couldn't afford it. I might have been complaining a lot as a child. Why are the lights cut off? You know, why don't we have anything to eat? Why don't I have the clothes that somebody else had? My dad worked at the railroad. He was always gone, sometimes weeks at a time. I didn't really get to see him, you know, much in any of my games since I was a kid. And it was tough. I didn't get much of that fatherly counseling that I needed. And I got it from coaches. I was about 11 when I got to a team in Little League called Optimus. coached by a man named Lloyd Bobo, and he saw us playing out there in the fields, and he asked us if we want to play organized baseball, and I said, yeah, I want to play. Lloyd Bobo was just like a father figure for me. He picked me up every day in this truck. We'll go to practice, and we'll work on field and ground balls. I was pretty good. I hit a grand slam, just sprinted around the bases, and I didn't know that when you hit the ball over the fence, you had to jog and celebrate and enjoy it. I slid it to home plate, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And they was like, dude, next time you just jog around the bases. It was a lot of fun playing Little League Baseball. Me playing the game kind of got me away from, a lot of troubles. For 3 hours, I could focus on competing against people and show them that I'm the best. I was just happy. I was playing with this team called Bryant Paint, and we went on to Santa Fe, New Mexico to play in the regional tournament. I had some great games and hit some homers, robbed some homers. Everything. I did it all. And when I came back home, they started writing about it in the local newspapers. And people would come up to me to talk to me about baseball, and I read about you in the paper. I saw you went, 2 for 3. I saw you go 4 for 4. I'm like, what? You read about me? I thought that was pretty awesome. Even for me, when they were writing about it, I was reading it, and I'm like, wow, I guess I'm okay as a player. I feel like I can defeat you. And that's when I realized, I have something here, playing the game of baseball. As I got older, I really understood what my dad was doing. The lights were cut off in the house, and we had candles, and we were doing our homework. And we actually did that a lot. And after so many times, you're 13, 14 years old, you start to figure out, okay, what's going on? I knew that he was on drugs. I would learn stuff in school about drugs, and I was like, wow, okay, my dad is there, and I would see those things and say, oh my God, that's what my dad does, and I would watch TV and, oh my God, I see my dad do that. That was the moment. It was some rough times, man, and how can I put that? I couldn't really talk to my father and my dad, and so I ran into a lot of obstacles, and I was kind of walking through life like this and bumping into walls, and that's how I got my wisdom is a lot of heel pain. A lot of people that were close to us, they knew what was going on, so they kind of stepped in and tried to help my mother out. It takes a village to raise a child. That's how we grew up in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. Everybody took care of everybody. Billy Bach was my high school coach. He did a lot of things for me. He put my name out there and make sure everybody knew that this guy in Pine Bluff, Arkansas is alive, and he can play the game of baseball. I kind of used my God-given ability. I was able to see the ball, hit the ball, and struck out maybe like 4 or 5 times in high school, and played great defense. You hit the ball, I was gonna get it. My senior year, we played against Sheridan, Arkansas, in the state championship. It was a big game. It was talked about on television, talked about on the news, and it was media everywhere. Cameras everywhere. My dad actually came to support me, and I was able to hit a home run in the 7th inning, and we went on to win the whole thing. My dad was able to see my home run over the center field wall, and he was right there next to me, and it was the greatest feeling in the world. I felt like I was on my way. Days before the draft, I'm just trying to figure out who could I get drafted by? And I was supposed to go like the top 10 picks. The number 1 pick went by Alex Rodriguez. The number 2, then so on. Then there's the 10th pick, and I'm like, oh, here's the 10th pick. And it wasn't me. I was so nervous that I wasn't gonna have a chance to go and play professional baseball. So 11th pick, 12th pick, the 19th, and next year, you know, the 20th pick.
Hello?
I was calling for Torii Hunter, please.
This is Abe.
Hey, Torii. My name's Andy McPhail. I'm the general manager of the Minnesota Twins. I just wanted to be the first one to congratulate you and to tell you that we selected you first in our first round, 20th in the nation.
20th in the nation?
Yes, sir.
First round?
Yes, sir.
Minnesota Twins.
Feels good. I like this. I had a lot of family around me the day I answered that phone. I looked at my grandfather and he was in tears. And he gave me a big hug and he was so excited because that's where he wanted to be. And he was sort of living that dream through me. It's just great. It's great to see that, man. I never even thought about, you know, talking about this on TV or anything like that, but man, that was crazy. I ain't never thought about that. That was awesome. After I got drafted, I'm shipped to Fort Myers, Florida, and in the Gulf Coast League. So I'm thrown into the fire right away, and I'm in this clubhouse. All these guys were like #1 picks. All these guys were the superstars in their hometown, and everybody could play. And I'm like, oh my God. Hey, you talk about a taste of humble pie. I definitely got it that day. I'm 18 years old, and I was so intimidated. My first game, my first at-bat, I struck out. Then the second at-bat, struck out again, same pitches. Third at-bat, struck out again, same pitches. So you know what I did? I got my bat, and I threw it over the backstop. I remember talking to Ron Gardenhire one day. I said, hey, what's this pitch with the dot in it? And he was like, well, Torii, that there dot be a slider. I didn't know what a slider was. I just knew curveball, fastball, sinker. That's it. They kept throwing sliders, and I kept swinging and missing. That was my weakness. After that, I started figuring out some things, and I actually gotten better at the end of my stint in the Gulf Coast League, but it just so happened to be too late, so I hit 190. In 1994, I got promoted to Fort Wayne, Indiana in low A ball.
Torii Hunter has already put in time in the Gulf Coast League, the Instructional League, and finally the Midwest League. And it's made this first rounder ready for success.
My first game, I went 2 for 3 with a game-winning RBI.
I'm just out there to have fun right now and try to learn as much as I can so I can get to the big leagues.
And I ended up hitting 300. In 1997, they sent me to Double-A in New Britain, Connecticut. Things were totally different. I had a lot of mistakes at the plate. I struggled with the slider once again, and it was tough. A guy who went in the first round, 20th pick overall, a guy who's supposed to be the savior in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, the pressure was tough. It hit me. One of my teammates, we had a rental car, $6 a day. And we couldn't afford the first month rent of an apartment. And we actually slept in the parking lot. And I'm in the back seat. I feel like I'm at the lowest point of my career. And it was just a rough time. I called my wife one night and said, you know what? I think I'm done. I don't love it no more. And she said, well, you know, if you want to come home, that's fine, but I think you should stick it out. You're going to get through this. You've overcame a lot of stuff and obstacles in your life. Fight through it. And if you still feel the same after this season, then that's the choice you make. It just hit me. I need to step it up. My family kind of gave me some inspiration, some fire to go out and finish the race. when I struggled at the plate. I had so many people around me telling me to do this and do that. Get your foot down when the pitcher's hand here and, you know, different things like that. But that was all mechanical. And I think that caused a lot of my struggles because I almost became a machine. I got away from what God blessed me with, and that's the talent to play this game of baseball. So it took me a long time, maybe 3 or 4 years, to figure out, go back to what God blessed you with, and that's see ball, hit ball, and use your God-given ability. Slowly, I started getting stronger mentally, trying to see the goal, start swinging a lot better, and I was able to, boom, hit that slider.
And that ball is gone. It's a home run for Torii Hunter.
I got the call to go to the Major Leagues August 22nd, 1997. My manager at the time was Al Newman. He jokes all the time about everything. He called me in the office, set me down, and he said, "You're going to the big leagues. Congratulations, son." I said, "Man, you play so much. Why are you joking? I'm gone, you know?" And I got up and I was walking out. He chased me. He was like, "Torii, T," he called me T, "you're going to the major leagues, man." And everybody was excited for me. I'm like, I'm going to the major leagues. I packed my bags, flew into Baltimore, and my first encounter on the field was Terry Steinbach got a base hit. Tom Kelly, my manager at the time, said, "Hey, Torii, go run. You pitch running." I'm like, oh, wow, these guys are big-time guys. I'm in the big leagues, and I'm running out to first base. And Terry Steinbach wouldn't move. And I said, "I'm pitch running for you." And he was like, "No, you're not." "For who?" He looking around like, "No, you're not running for me." You can hear 55,000 people and they all screaming, "Get off the field, rookie." I said, "Terry, come on, man, please. You got to get off the base." He said, "I'm just kidding, rookie." And high-fived me, and I got on the base.
Torii Hunter, who is making his major league debut.
It was the 9th inning. Matt Lawton hits the ball to Jeff Rebele at second base. Rebele threw it to Mike Bordick. I slid in to break up the double play. He ended up getting the double play. That's why he was a Gold Glover. Those 4 or 5 days getting called up to the major leagues gave me that extra fire. Just to get a taste of that, I wanted more. You know, it was sweet. When I went back to the minor leagues, I think my game went to another level because my mentality had changed. My first hit was very special. You're playing in Camden Yards, you're talking about 55,000 people, and I'm like, oh my God. I did have some nerves. I wanted something big to happen.
He was playing for the Twins AA team. Got the call up to the major leagues.
The bullpen guy came in. His name was Arthur Rhodes, and he's throwing 99 miles an hour. So here I am at the on-deck circle. I'm like, this guy throws gas. I watch him on TV, but I had to tell myself, all right, I need to get a hit.
Torii Hunter will hit for Orlando Merced.
I got up to the plate. I knew the fastball was coming. And I was able to, boom, get a base hit to the right side. The ball was thrown in, and they threw it to Cal Ripken, and he throws it in the visitor's dugout and kind of looked at me and hit his chest, like, congratulations. You got your first major league knock.
And he just has got his first major league hit.
Rafael Palmeiro hits me on the butt at first base and said, congratulations, kid, got your first knock.
Well, congratulations to Torii Hunter.
And that's something I will never forget. You just feel like, wow, this is it. This is where I always dreamed of. Every once in a while, I flash back, you know, to all the rough times that we've had. And I think about all the obstacles I had to overcome, all the people that protected me. I couldn't have made it without those guys. You don't play for just you. You play for your bloodline. You play for your hometown, your state. You play for everybody that supported you, everybody that helped raise you, everybody that loves you. So when you talk about it takes a village to raise a child, I'm a living witness. Living witness. Let me be politically correct because my wife is watching this as well. The greatest moment is when I got married to my beautiful wife, Katrina. And then get into the major leagues.